Hey there, YouTube. WhiskeyCactus here, welcoming you back to our Pokemon Scarlet and Violet VGC Regulation H Battle Stadium doubles ranked battles thing. I don't know how much or how little of that to say every time. We're gonna switch to a different team this time. Let's see the team. What do we want to do here? I want this team. We're gonna go ahead and check this team out. Now, the cool thing about this team is it features one of my favorite Pokemon. When I found out that there was a niche that Ribombee could fill, I had to give it a shot. And back in the days of Sword and Shield, Ribombee actually got access to a move called Speed Swap. And I used a team that I built around Speed Swap Ribombee. I think it had Mudsdale and Snorlax. I think it was Snorlax. And that was like part of the team. I had some other stuff with that team also, but Ribombee being able to speed swap with a really slow Pokemon made it very interesting, because it could then speed swap with like a Torkoal or a Hatterene or a Mudsdale or whatever, and then it would become the slowest thing. The sweeper would become the fastest thing, and then you had priority helping hand while also having Shield, Dust, and Focus Sash. It was a really cool strategy. It was like early Sword and Shield. It very quickly got outclassed, but it was something I enjoyed doing. Ribombee no longer has access to Speed Swap, which is unfortunate, so I kind of thought there wasn't really going to be a way to fit Ribombee into the meta, but it turns out really fast Tailwind is always good, and really fast Fake Tears on a team with Gholdengo and Ursaluna can be really, really helpful. Also, side Pollen Puff is very useful, and just having a Moonblast is, there's a lot of things that are weak to Fairy, so it's a really good strategy, and especially when combined with Gholdengo and Ursaluna, you have really strong special attackers that can come in underneath that Fake Tears and do some massive damage. We also have Incineroar for pivoting. Now, there is a team that is going around that is very similar to this team. It has, and that's the team that kind of popularized Ribombee at the moment. And that team has a Perish Trap Trick Room thing going with, like, I think it's a Gothitelle and a Primarina. I didn't really want to go that route with this team, so I have Farigiraf in here for the Throat Spray, Helping Hand, support. It's got Hyper Voice. It also has Trick Room, because this is not a blisteringly fast team, and it can get some mileage out of using Trick Room if needed. And then also we have a Hisuian Decidueye. I wanted another physical attacker because they didn't really have a whole lot of those, and we have Haze support with it, and we also have Scrappy, so we can go ahead and hit into Ghosts. Triple Arrows can hit Gholdengo pretty hard. So we've got some interesting things we can do there. So the details for this team will be in the description. That team ID rental code is probably not going to be available by the time this episode goes up, but you can recreate the team if you want to, and we'll go ahead and jump into ranked battles. Now you'll notice I have some battles there that weren't there last time. I have done some testing with some of these teams. I figured instead of going in blind, I should maybe test some of these teams a little bit and see how they do. And so I've done some off-screen battling just to kind of get some testing. I've made some tweaks to the teams here and there based on my results, like you're supposed to do. All right, this is interesting. We have sand, we have snow, we have a Garganackle, which is obnoxious. We have, I don't really know what Marshtomp wants to do. Marshtomp, what Swampert wants to do. We also have a Corviknight. This team looks really annoying. I don't know what strategies it does. But what I think I want to do with it, it doesn't look like a team that wants anything to do with Trick Room, so I'm not going to bring the Trick Room. The Hisuian Decidueye actually looks pretty decent into this team. So I think I'm going to go Ribombee Decidueye, get a Tailwind up, and then just kind of try to hit things hard with Decidueye. I feel like having one of these two in the back is going to be really good. Honestly, there's a lot of resistance to there's not a lot of resistance to steel, but there's decent resistance to steel. I think I want String Cheese here. And then the real question is, I don't think Jeffrey really matters here. I don't think there's much in the way of priority that we want to stop. So the question becomes, do I want Incineroar for utility? I don't think I do. I think I'm going to bring my Ursaluna-Bloodmoon, because I feel like ground is not bad into this team. I really don't know what my answer to Corviknight is. I should have thought of that. Because I don't have a good one. Actually, I do. I have Choice Specs Thunderbolt. Never mind. I do have a decent answer to that. So let's see. Hopefully they don't have Corviknight. Garganacl and Swampert. I like my lead here. I like my lead here a good amount. So I don't know what they want to do as far as, like, stopping Tailwind going up. But what does Swampert do that's scary? I don't really know. I think I want to... do I want to triple arrows into the Garganacl? I think that's a decent idea. Let's triple arrows into the Garganacl, and hopefully we can beat the shit out of it. Garganacl can be a real pain in the ass. I'm kind of afraid of letting Swampert just be unchecked here. Oh, okay. Fearing the Leaf Blade. I'm glad I didn't go for the Swampert then. So get a Tailwind up. That's very helpful. Because Decidueye is not slow, but it's not fast. It's medium. And we Salt Cure the Ribombee. Alright. That lefties? It's lefties. Alright. So, now we know that the Swampert can't protect. It's very tempting to go for the Swampert. I think I might want to switch out into Ursaluna. And then we'll go for... I still think I want to go triple arrows on the Garganacl just to prevent it from doing anything else. And then next turn, we can see what the Swampert wants to do. This is not going to Earthquake, because it would do it would kill the Garganacl. That would be silly. I want to preserve Ribombee just because I want Tailwind in late game. Probably going to want Tailwind in late game. And I can get rid of that Salt Cure. So they probably expect a switch here, which is the whole point of going for Salt Cure. You're trying to force a switch, which is fine. Got Bloodmoon or Ursaluna coming in. Garganacl switches out. There's nothing that can safely switch into triple arrows. We have Scrappy, so even if you want... Oh, God. Oh, that sucks. I mean, this is neutral. And it crits. That's not bad. That's not great. Alright. Well. At the very least. I think we protect the Ursaluna. I'm not afraid of Swampert from the Decidueye standpoint. I'm afraid of it from the Ursaluna standpoint. But I need to get rid of this Corviknight. And I don't think Corviknight's not going to protect or anything, right? So if we just do some damage to it, it's going to Brave Bird. That's probably going to kill me. I should have thought to Tera. But that's alright, because the Corviknight is low enough. It probably has Roost. Never mind. That takes it out. I'm okay with that, because now... the good thing is... to switch Ribombee back in. I can side Pollen Puff, and we should just be able to Blood Moon this thing to death. Or we can Hyper Voice. Yeah, let's go Tera Normal, Hyper Voice for the extra damage, and we'll side Pollen Puff. So we still have the speed advantage. So hopefully, I mean, this should absolutely get the knockout on the Garganacl. It's resisted, but it's going to do a lot of damage. And he has almost no health left. The Swampert, I don't know about. We can get a nice amount of healing onto the Ursaluna. We're no longer weak to the Liquidation. If we can get a double knockout, that'd be huge. Okay, yeah, no, Swampert's way too thick. But we did take out the Garganacl and the Corviknight. And that is really, really helpful. So it's going to Liquidation into the Ursaluna. Doesn't do a whole lot. We still have Tailwind up. Defense drop might hurt a bit. We can get a Tailwind up again. I don't know that we need it. Depends on what comes in. Tyranitar? Alright. So with Tyranitar in here... I don't need to worry about Tailwind, I don't think. Ah, shit. Do I have the tools to take out Swampert? I want the Tailwind. Shit, I don't know if I need the Tailwind. Let's go Moonblast into the T-Tar. I may have through. Oh, he's Ghost. I didn't even think about the fact that he could have been flying. That would have been terrible. So I'm really glad that I doubled into it. Still not a lot. He's going low kick into shit. That's okay. You know what? That's actually okay. Because it's not okay. It is okay. It is okay. The speed drop is helpful. He no longer... Alright. What I'm not worried about is I'm not worried about the Swampert being able to tank a hit. I think we just fake Tears into Tyranitar because we'll outspeed. And we get to make it rain. This should pick up a double knockout. Yeah, there we go. Okay. There we go. Alright. That was solid. I think I could have played the Ursaluna a little bit better. I think I was a little hasty on making decisions there, but ultimately it worked out. So I'm okay with that. So we'll take that win. That's good. It's always good to win the first one. Because then you think, alright, even if we lose 2, we didn't get swept, right? That's baseball mentality. That's baseball mentality. Best of 3 series. Even if we lose 1, or even if we lose 2, as long as we won 1, we're good. Alright, we're going to continue. We're going to get a little bit of juice on to rank 7. Let's see what else we can find. So, I really do like the Hisuian Decidueye on this team. I've noticed in my couple of battles that I've done in testing, I found, because I didn't originally have a Hisuian Decidueye, I actually had a Hydreigon and a Primarina, and I had a Ribombee instead of the Bloodmoon Ursaluna, the Farigiraf, and the Hisuian Decidueye. And that team, it was okay. Like I think it got like 1 or 2 wins and 1 or 2 losses. And I was just like, I don't know, I feel like I'm lacking power. So the Bloodmoon Ursaluna was helpful. And I really liked the blocking of priority from the Farigiraf. But I didn't want to give up. Oh, shit. Alright, well, let's try again. Let's try again. I didn't want to give up grass coverage and haze. And it turns out that Decidueye can do both. So that helped. And I think that was, having the fighting coverage was also really helpful. So it just seemed like a good piece to the team. All right. So this is very scary. We've got Sneasler, who I know very well. I used Sneasler earlier in an earlier episode. We also have, that's going to combo with the Rillaboom and the Acrobatics with the Grassy Seed and all that shit. Unburden. We also have Tailwind with the Eruption from the Hisuian Typhlosion. I don't know that I want to deal with all of that. I'm thinking Jeffrey would be helpful here, because having Trick Room can really fuck up the Tailwind stuff and the Unburdened stuff. So Trick Room. Also, a lot of these things are weak to Incineroar. That feels pretty solid. I'm thinking Ribombee stays home today. I don't know. Oh man, we can deal with the Gholdengo with Decidueye, but Decidueye doesn't like the matchup here much. Because there's a lot of things that threaten it. Gholdengo's just generally good. And also, yeah, I want to bring the Gholdengo. Question is Ursaluna or Decidueye. Honestly, I think I'm going to go Decidueye just for the matchup into Gholdengo. I don't know that I love this, though. I don't know that I love this. This feels like a very iffy matchup. That's okay, because we banked a win already. I love the Sprig. Good job, guy. What was your name? Sorrow? Good job. Good Sprig. Alright, so we're starting with this. Yeah. Okay, fine. Okay. So, Tailwind and Eruption. What do we want to do here? I mean, I think that the Trick Room feels pretty solid. And then we can knock off, or we could Fake Out. I don't know that Fake Out makes sense, because it's almost certainly going to have a Covert Cloak. So I think I just want to go straight up knock off onto the Typhlosion. Knock off those specs. If you want to set Tailwind, I'm fine with that. I'm assuming you're probably not going to want to set Tailwind. You're not going to be able to priority taunt me, because Armor Tail. Alright. You just going forward with it anyway? I think you are. I didn't want to Fake Out that spot because I didn't know if they were gonna Tera. Alright, you are just gonna go for the straight up Eruption. It's hard to beat. That was a crit. I'm gonna assume that crit mattered. It's a hard strategy to beat. The knockoff gets rid of... Oh, wow, that still did a lot. There's a Scarf. Okay. Well, I didn't get the Trick Room up, which is not great for me. It's not great for me. I guess we go into Gholdengo. We're in a bad spot here, pretty clearly. Because it can just Tailwind. I really thought I was getting the fucking Trick Room up. Man, if I would have read that and Fake Outed into the Typhlosion, god damn. Alright, we got a Shadow Ball into the Typhlosion. The Tailwind's gonna go up now, I'm sure. But we gotta go... We gotta go Flare Blitz into the Whimsicott. This is just bad. This is just bad. This is over. Blast Burn. Jesus. Huh. Now what's Blast Burn? Is that where it can't attack on the next turn? Is that what that is? I'm not sure. I don't remember. Problem is, I don't really know what else I could have done. Really, the only play would have been to Fake Out. Oh man, if I could have gotten the read on the Terrifier, and I would have clicked Fake Out into that spot. Oh, that would have been something. That would have been something. All right. So the question becomes: I think what I want to do is I want to protect the Decidueye, and I want to go ahead and knock off Tera Ghost, so because that way the fake out doesn't come out. And we'll go ahead and we'll. Do I want to knock off? Knock off isn't going to do it, right? I think we just got to Flare Blitz into the Rillaboom. Let's try to take it out. I mean, I can't win this. I can't win this. I don't think there's a way to win this. Yeah, he's got the Stomping Tantrum. Man, I have to rethink my Rillaboom situation because they're starting to come out with different builds than what was standard. It's not gonna matter. He's gonna outspeed me. He's gonna outspeed me. It's over. But man, like, just thinking about it, like, what? Why, dude? Why? 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 To what end? To what end? So, like, what's the answer to that? I mean, Trick Room was a good answer. I obviously couldn't fake out. Unless I was really, really, really confident that he was going to Tera Fire. Fake out into the Whimsicott was almost certainly not going to do anything because it probably has a Covert Cloak. So, what else on my team has an answer to that? I don't really think there is much of an answer. So, yeah, surprise. Let's see what else we can do. Yeah, this team is very... It's not... I wouldn't say it's very fire weak, but, like... Alright. So, we got Sneasler again. We got Clefable, which is unaware, and has redirection, which is interesting. That's a good Dondozo counter. I don't think we have Trick Room. Clefable might get Trick Rooms, but I'm not expecting the Trick Room to be a big factor for the King Gambit sweep or anything like that. So we just have a good Fire, Water, Grass core. We've got Steel, we've got Fairy, and we've got Sneasler. Again, this I don't want to go Trick Room here, but I think a good amount of this team can't deal with Ribombee, Gholdengo. And if we bring you in the back, the question is, what else do we want to bring? There is Priority. Jeffrey might help with Priority, but also the fighting coverage into King Gambit would be nice. The grass coverage is also pretty nice. Yeah, I think I always kind of lean towards Decidueye just to have a physical attacker and to have, like, some kind of strong, like, just hard hitter with grass and fighting is pretty solid offensive coverage. But I don't know. Let's see what we can do here. We've got Rillaboom, Sneasler. Okay, that's fair. So the Sneasler is absolutely going to outspeed after the Unburden. They could try to double into the Ribombee. I could switch out the Ribombee. Neither of these guys really wants to take a Make It Rain. The question is, obviously I can't be fake outed because of Shield Dust. But if they double in, that could be annoying. I don't think they can really kill me, though. Like, I don't think Rillaboom has anything that can, like, really hurt. So I'm kind of thinking a Pollen Puff into the Rillaboom and then a Make It Rain. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, I don't care. I can't be flinched. So I'm fine with that. I probably could have gone Moonblast into the Sneasler. Does a decent amount of damage, though. They both live. That's unfortunate. Alright. Well, the Sneasler can't really hurt Gholdengo. Although with the Swords Dance up, I don't know what coverage moves it has. So that could be a bit of a problem. The Rillaboom can Grassy Glide. But I think I want to... I mean, I guess we can try to get a Tailwind up. We're locked into Make It Rain. I'm not sure what else it's really going to do. Dire Claw into the Ribombee. That's okay. Ribombee can go down. Still going to get a Make It Rain off and take out both of them. I'll trade Ribombee for half the team. I'm okay with that. The one thing we got to work around here is we don't have Tailwind. And let's send in Decidueye. I'm probably going to want to switch out the Gholdengo, depending on what they have coming in. I'm hoping it's not King Gambit. King Gambit would be very scary. They have Primarina. Okay. And Volcarona. That's interesting. Alright. So. They don't have Tailwind up. I'm not sure if Volcarona outspeeds Decidueye or not. I also don't know if it has Redirection. I'm going to go Leaf Blade. And I think I want to switch into Ursaluna. Because I'm not expecting a water move into that slot. I'm expecting more of a fire move or a possible Quiver Dance or something like that. Let's go in Heat Wave. Okay. That does a lot. This should do a nice chunk. Takes out the Primarina in one shot. That's probably... It's not even a crit. Wow. Okay. I'm okay with that. So now the question becomes... I think we just protect. Didn't go for a Quiver Dance. So I'm thinking we just... There's nothing to stop us from just doing Terranormal Bloodmoon. Right? I mean... What can the Volcarona do to prevent that from going up? I mean, it can protect, but then I just do it again next turn. I think we should be pretty solid with this. Decidueye protects. Goes for a Giga Drain. That does a lot. But hopefully we can do most of the damage we need from this Blood Moon. Yeah. That locks it up. Alright, that was pretty clean. Oh, alright. That's fine. You can have your salt. I'm okay with that. Alright, well, we got the win, and that's what matters. We went 2-1, which is good. I'm pretty solid with this team. I like the team. I did not like the first iteration of this team. It wasn't good. It won like 1 or 2, but it lost more than it won. And I wasn't super into how it did. I'm going to not continue battling. We had our 3 battles for the game. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of go back to the team and just look at the team again. So, yeah, I don't think I'm going to use this team. This team hasn't done well in practice runs. So we might skip that one. But let's take a look at this team. Yeah, there's a Palisand. You saw a Palisand and a Tinkaton. Don't worry about it. But here we are. We have this team. So it's an interesting team because it's similar to a team that was already out there. And that team is good. Like I think it won a tournament. It got like number 5 on ladder or something. People have been using it. I know that like Cybertron's showcased the team. I think a few other YouTubers have showcased it. It's a really good team. And it's very interesting to me because Ribombee is one of my favorite Pokemon. For whatever reason. I tend to get favorite Pokemon that just come from in-game playthroughs and then competitive use. So I used Ribombee in an Ultra Moon playthrough one time, and I really, really loved how much damage it did and how fast it was. So it was great in a playthrough, and then I figured, alright, this thing's pretty cool. Let's see if we can find a way to make it useful in competitive, and in Sun and Moon, no. It was not. But there was a way to do it in Sword and Shield, so that really endeared it to me. And I loved Speed Swap Ribombee so much. It made me totally fall in love with it. So, being able to use Ribombee is really cool. I also really love Decidueye-hisuian Decidueye is so cool. And I feel like the Hisuian Decidueye is a clutch member of this team. In the games that I've won with this team in practice and what we saw here, it really, really helps. That crit triple arrows is crazy. It does so much damage. And then having Haze support, I really haven't come up against like really any Dondozos. I think because there's so much Haze and Clear Smog and stuff and counters to Dondozo, it really just kind of scares it off. But just having access to it's really helpful. And then for me, the Farigiraf may not be that useful. I don't know. I kind of put it in there because I felt like blocking priority felt good to me, especially with Ribombee. Because Ribombee doesn't have priority Tailwind, being able to block priority might help enable it a little bit more. But this is my take on that team, so feel free to take a look at it. The rental code's not going to work, but the details for the team are going to be in the description of this video. So it's a very simple team build. I think everything is 252 except for Incineroar. Ribombee in special attack and speed, Gholdengo special attack and speed, Decidueye attack and speed, Ursaluna special attack and speed, and Farigiraf is special attack and HP. They're all maxed out. And then Incineroar is the standard Incineroar build. So, yeah, it's a cool team. We'll probably switch to a different team next time. I have to test out that Tinkaton team. I haven't done any testing with it yet. That other team with the Indeedee Hatterene, I've tested that one pretty extensively, and I have not had good success with it, so I'm probably just not going to use that team. But I do have a few other teams. There is another one that I have tested a little bit. That Tyranitar team that you saw next to this one. That one might be the next one we feature. I do have a team that uses Mischievous. I have not tested that one yet either. That one's like the most gimmicky I've ever made a team. So that one, we'll see. I might just use it anyway, even if it sucks, just because I want to feature Mischievous. Eviolite Mischievous can be really bulky. It's really funny. So we'll see how I'll test with that one a little bit. And then I have a few other teams I want to test. That Noivern team that I used before, I actually swapped it for a Kingdra. Left the rest of the team the same, and I feel like it's going to be a lot better. And that's one I want to toy around with. I have another team that's very similar to the Double Moth team without the Double Moth. It's that same team similar. It's got like a Hydreigon added to it. It doesn't have the Snow Lead. There's a few other things that I want to test around. Another Sand team I have an idea for, and I don't know. So we're just going to keep continuing with this. I really like Sneasler. I might want to try to get it on a Rillaboom team, but I also do like it with Indeedee. I have another Psyspam team that might be interesting. So there's a few other things I want to try. I don't know how many more episodes I'm going to do. This, I think, is episode number 5. So I want to try to get at least to, like, maybe 10. We'll see how it goes. And maybe we can finally get out of rank 7. I don't know. I haven't been able to do it in any of my practice battles either. But I'm going into those knowing I have teams that need work. So, it is what it is. But with all that said, I'm going to go ahead and bounce on out of here. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like. And make sure you're subscribed for more Pokemon Regulation H VGC with some additional teams. In the next episode, we're going to feature a new team. And that team will probably be a Palisand Sand team, and we'll see how that does. So I hope you're excited for that. I know I am. I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.